So, guess what, guys?
Oh,
Ooh.
what?
I'm living out my dreams and I'm going to be a reality TV star.
Oh my god, really?
Yeah,
Oh,
actually.
yeah. So, like, is it The Circle or...
Oh, I wish no.
What's the hot people one where they're not allowed to
Oh,
make
yeah,
out
I
with
was
each other?
definitely on Too Hot
It was
to Handle.
definitely Too Hot to Handle, yeah.
Yeah.
No, unfortunately, it's on the Discovery Channel, and unfortunately for majority
What?
of it, I look like a drowned rat, so you know.
I was gonna say, you got on the reality TV show where they, like, guarantee you're gonna look your worst.
Oh, yeah. Like, you know what, though? I've always wanted to be a scuba diving influencer, and
Yeah.
this is just the start of my career, so...
Wow.
Exactly, it's all happening.
This is so exciting.
People are
Yeah.
gonna make a TikTok sound out of the edit of you being like, it's a balmy 7 degrees Celsius.
I'm gonna die.
Tune in January for Sam's reality TV debut.
It'll be a balmy 7 degrees.
Hello, and welcome to another episode of Midlight Crisis, a real podcast hosted by 3 grown-up biologists revisiting books from our teens, and it's totally cool. I am one of your hosts, Sophie, and today I come from an illustrious lineage of job havers who are also from a place, and that job... I remember. Sorry,
You were doing so well.
I just reread my job. My job and place that I am from is a firewolf
Ooh.
from the Lake of Lakes.
Oh.
Oh.
Interesting.
The Lake
It
of
started
Lakes.
strong.
Yeah. It started as a middle grade book,
Yep.
and then it
Mhm.
ended as like a 3rd grade book.
Yeah.
The Lake of Lakes.
The Lake of Lakes.
The Lake of Lakes.
Wow.
Like, it's the lake,
Whimsical.
singular, of lakes,
Uh-huh.
plural.
Of many lakes.
Yeah.
The Lake of Many Lakes.
Yeah, so maybe, maybe more whimsical than I first thought.
Yeah.
I'm thinking like river delta, but a lake,
Uh-huh.
Like a reverse archipelago.
A reverse archipelago.
Yeah.
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 Like a swamp with a bunch of open areas.
Yeah. Think like a swamp, but lake.
But lake.
But lake. But lake, though.
Yeah.
Or it's like, this is the lakiest of lakes. This
Mhm.
is the most lake that has ever existed. And I am
Yeah.
the firewolf. My job is firewolf.
I mean, humans are not very original about naming things.
That's
Maybe
true.
you're from a town called Lake, and now that you're a firewolf, you work in the lake of the town Lake.
The town is Lakes with an S. Because then I work at the
right,
Lake
yes.
of Lakes.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I've both looked at and said lake too much, and now it's stopped being a real word. So, on that note, let's move on to who's next.
Well, I don't work in a lake, and my name is Sam, and I am a toad mechanic from the band of Snow.
Toad mechanic.
I'm a toad
the
mechanic.
space that you said
Yeah.
made it extra funny.
Toad
The toad
mechanic.
It is technically one word, but that just doesn't seem right.
Yep. Well,
Hmm.
it is, I guess, because it's your job.
Yeah.
I guess
Guess
so.
it is real.
So are you a mechanic of toads or a mechanic who is
Who
a toad?
is a toad? Oh, this is a great question. Unclear.
Unclear.
You only learn that when you reach level 9.
Yeah, if you're,
toad mechanicry.
if you're a mechanic of toads, aren't you just a vet?
Yeah.
Fair.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
I'm gonna start calling my vet a toad mechanic.
A cat mechanic.
Yeah.
Go to my cat.
Gotta
mechanic.
go to my cat mechanic.
Yeah.
Wow, where are you from?
Where are you
I
from?
forgot that part. I was too distracted by a
Oh.
toad mechanic.
The Band of Snow.
Oh,
Oh.
wow. Band brackets instruments or band bracket thing around other
A
things?
group of people?
Yeah.
Oh.
I don't know. It's just
Wow.
BAND.
Ugh,
Band.
could be anything.
It could be
Yeah.
anything.
I'm choosing to believe marching band.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. You would definitely need
A toad mechanic in a
Yeah.
band
in a band. I mean,
of snow, specifically. Amphibians known for loving winter.
That's
Yeah.
also true.
that's why they need a mechanic.
Yeah.
Put some antifreeze in them.
Hannah's F1 fervor is coming through in the toad mechanic. Yeah.
There's so many funny things happened in Formula One this week, you guys.
Wow, I'm so happy for you. And also, who are you?
Hello, I am Hannah. Did I
Mhm.
say my name right?
Did you
Hannah.
say?
I am Hannah,
Yeah.
and
Yep.
today I am revealing myself as a bog jettisoner from the small town of Rust.
Oh.
What? A bog what?
A bog jettisoner? I get those bogs right out of there.
Yeah, you throw them out
Gotcha.
overboard.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah. From
Yeah.
the small town of Rust.
of Rust.
That sounds like just a thing.
Yeah, that one's very like Western movie tumbleweed
Yeah.
something or other.
Yeah.
Bog jettisoner.
Bog
don't know.
jettisoner. Yep. No, you gotta throw those bogs overboard.
Just gotta get them out of
Gotta
here.
get them out of here.
I mean, I guess it's a little Harry Pottery, because there's at one point where the twins make an indoor swamp and then someone has to get rid of it. They have to jettison the bog,
Yep.
which leads us to
Oh, you're
something else that's kind of Harry Potter-y.
Uh-huh. Wow, you've
Oh,
really just taken the
yeah.
wheel here. You've stolen the reins to this podcast. Wow.
I'm giving them back to you.
Okay, wow, great point, Hannah, because the other thing that's a lot like Harry Potter is the book we're reading.
Oh, what book is that?
Weird that you would bring that up, because actually the book we're reading this week is the same book we've been reading for several weeks, but it's one chapter from it, and the book is called City of Bones by Cassandra Clare.
Yeah.
We are known for our smooth segues here.
Smooth transition.
Yep. So natural. So practiced. Can you believe this
Extremely
show?
professional.
Can you believe this show isn't scripted? With how good that was.
Yeah. It's all off the cuff, baby.
All off the cuff. Okay, anyway, the book we're reading is City of Bones, and we read another chapter, and Hannah's gonna tell us for the next 10 minutes straight
Yeah.
what happened in this chapter.
This part is scripted because part 2 of this book opens with the longest chapter we have ever had to read in the 4 years of this podcast.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
If this number of pages was in Maximum Ride, it would have taken us 6 months to get through this much of the book.
It would have been like 5 episodes.
Yeah, it would have been a lot of episodes.
Okay, so to start, Hodge elaborates to Jason Clary about the cliffhanger from the last chapter that Clary's mom Jocelyn was married to the big bad guy Valentine, and that all of the adult characters we've heard of so far other than Madame Dorothea were part of Valentine's inner circle at one point or another. Some left, like Jocelyn and Luke and Jace's dad, Michael, and some stayed until Valentine disappeared or something during the Capital U uprising, like Hodge and Alec and Isabel's parents. Which is why Hodge and Alec and Isabel's parents have been banished to the Institute in New York instead of getting to live in the Shadowhunter homeland, because they were fascists.
Yep.
Anyway, they talk about Valentine's plans to create a child army using the Mortal Cup, and that Clary has a block on her mind that both prevents her from full use of her capital S sight, and that has hidden away some of her memories that somehow are important for them fighting Valentine. I don't know, this chapter was long. I
Yeah.
got a little lost in the sauce. Luckily, they already have one of these Shadowhunter Clave's psychic librarian enforcers on the way to visit.
Archivist
How convenient.
also.
Well, that's librarian, you know.
Okay, sure.
Similar. The silent brother Jeremiah arrives and creeps the shit out of everybody and tries to take the block off of Clary's mind, but is unsuccessful. So the next step in that attempt is to take Clary and her shadow Jace to the Bone City, where the rest of the Silent Brothers live, ? And they have the Silent Brother Council there try to remove the block also. When they try, Clary sees some snippets of memories, including the all-caps name Magnus Bane, who seems to be the one who put the block on her memory, and as such, he is the only one who can safely remove it. So with that vital bit of information thusly delivered, Jace and Clary head back to the Institute.
Wow.
I need a drink.
Yeah. Take a sip of water. Like, just to right off the bat, I don't actually think they explain why Clary's memories will help. I think it's just sort of, you get it. Having more memories will be more helpful. And it's like, will they? But
will they?
Well, I think they're hoping that somewhere in her brain, like, she's seen the Mortal Cup before or something, right?
Yeah.
Like, they're hoping that, like, in passing or something, she's seen something. And, like, you see it in the brief moment where Luke comes back, right? Like, she doesn't have a memory of that, but it's, like, a pivotal moment that kind of shows, like, oh, this isn't right. Something's wrong here. So
yeah. Okay, that makes sense. But I don't think you missed it. I don't think that was clarified. Clarified.
No, it's just kind of, I think, why they're kind of being like, come on, Clary, let's figure out what's in your head.
Yeah.
Yeah, gotta get those memories out of there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
Yeah, okay. I feel like it's gonna be Clary's mom who put the block on her.
No, we find out who puts the block in her.
No, but I feel like it was at the request of her mom instead of like her dad. Right?
She took her, or Jocelyn took Clary to Magnus
Bane
to get this block put on her memory.
Yeah.
And I assume this is the same Bane that has been name dropped a couple times in the early chapters.
Yeah.
He's in Australia.
Yeah. So they're going to have to go to
We don't know if he's from there. That would be funny.
Maybe we'll find out. But let's go back to the beginning of the chapter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Should we go back to even before the beginning of the chapter?
Yeah, like perhaps the Latin.
Yes.
So before, at the beginning, like right before this chapter, same with part 1, there's like a little snippet of poetry. And here it is. Okay, everyone pause. The cat.
Say it in Latin.
The cat is getting off of my lap. Okay, there we go.
Oh.
Now we're fine.
Cats don't like Latin.
No.
Everybody knows.
And this one is part of the, oh no, Aeneid?
I have no idea.
I have no idea. The one by Virgil.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to read it in Latin, but Hannah, do you want to tell us what it translates to?
Yeah, the translation is, the gates of hell are open night and day, smooth the descent and easy is the way, but to return and view the cheerful skies, in this task and mighty labor lies. So, that's fun.
That is fun. So another, because the first poem in the part 1 was Paradise Lost, which also is Descent into Hell. And then this is another
Descent into
Hell poem.
I feel like there might be a
theme perhaps
here. I don't know.
I wonder what it could be. Like, it is referencing that part of this is, I guess, the Silent Brothers, I don't know, motto.
Yeah.
But that's like in the middle of the chapter. Because, first we hang out with everybody in the house and everybody's having a discussion about how Clary is Valentine's kid obliquely. No one says that specifically. And then they all just like leave. They just like have this tough conversation and like in the middle of it or like, ooh, dinner time. Anyway, bye.
Take out.
Yeah.
Yeah, because Isabel threw out her soup that I guess was just a plot device.
Yeah.
Again, this chapter was extremely long, so
Yeah.
not all of it has stuck to my brain juice, but
Yep.
yuck.
The little man in your brain just couldn't write it all down fast enough.
The little man in my brain got overwhelmed.
Yeah.
But it doesn't necessarily seem like they have made the connection that Valentine is Clary's dad. Am I misinterpreting that?
Oh, yeah.
It seems like, well, they know that Valentine and Jocelyn were married, but they don't seem to have taken the next step from that.
Yeah. That's a good point. I mean, maybe everyone's just like, oh, it's pretty obvious. Let's not talk about it.
That's
you
true.
know, like, maybe that's why. But, oh, no, right. Because right at the beginning, Clary says she was only ever married to my father. So you're right.
Yeah.
I think everyone thinks that Clary has a different dad.
Yeah. Well, her dad's name is Jonathan something, allegedly.
Right.
But, yeah.
Yeah. Wild.
Yeah. I'm sure at some point they're going to be like, what?
What?
Valentine is your father?
Yeah. It's going to be a wild realization, even though somebody by now surely should have done the backwards math and been like, wait, how old are you? Hold on, wait.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, unless the two of us are wrong.
I guess that's fair. I mean,
yes, but
yeah. So we have the Death Eaters and
Death Eaters.
Sorry.
I can't tell if you were if that was like an intentional slip.
No, it was an on purpose one.
Okay, yeah, okay.
So we have the Death Eaters. They were all part of it. Kind of like, it sounds like Lucian left before?
Yeah, he was the first one to leave.
Right. And then basically everyone else stayed with Valentine until the end and got quote unquote like clemency, kind of.
Yeah.
But it's interesting then that I guess I was going to say it's interesting that Hodge hasn't been in contact with Lucian, but Lucian was probably protecting Jocelyn from being found. So he probably cut off anyone else who tried to reach out to him.
Yeah, and it seems like in Clary's flashback, Jocelyn thought Luke was dead. So he might also have faked his own death to escape. Maybe.
Right.
It's hard to say.
Yeah. Wow, so many things that are hard to say.
So many. They're probably easier to say
if you've read the book.
You've read the book, or if you, for example, have read the chapters before this sooner than a month ago.
Maybe. It's possible. Like if you read this book in a normal way.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
It's possible.
Wow. Yeah, so apparently all of this is also a reveal to Jace. Like, Jace didn't know any of this either. Which is interesting because I guess Isabel and Alec are the kids of the other two that got banished.
Mm-hmm.
And then Jace is an orphan, so also ended up with the banished group.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's like, are they real Shadowhunters then? You know, like, are the children excluded from their parents' crimes? Then why are they here? Why aren't they in the Glass City, you know?
Well, yeah, I guess they're genetically Shadowhunters, but are they culturally allowed to be Shadowhunters? Is that the question?
Yeah, because, like, Hodge is training them to be Shadowhunters, but, like, Hodge is, like, an illegal Shadowhunter.
No, he's not illegal. He's just banished. And, like, his banishment is to run the Institute. And the Institutes all around the world have to have somebody watching them. Like, there has to be someone posted at each institute, but nobody wants to do it because they want to be an Idris. But, like,
right.
It's not uncommon. Like, there's, like, a bunch, and as you read the other books, like, there's one in LA, there's one in London, there's, like, one in every major city. And they're not just empty. There's always somebody who is the head of the Institute. So as Hodge's punishment... Hodge's punishment is to, like, be the caretaker. The Lightwoods are the ones who run the Institute. So, yeah. But like, and that's why they're allowed to go back and forth to Idris, because they are like the ambassadors or whatever of New York.
Right.
Whereas Hodge is like stuck in New York. So he probably just he was just sent to New York with the Lightwoods, and they're like meant to look after him. And yeah.
Yes. Okay. And so, like, in theory, their kids, once they're done being trained, can like freely go to Idris because they have to be trained out in the world and not in Idris.
Yeah, are the kids part of the banishment?
Like, technically, I don't know. Like, it's a loaded question. Like,
yeah,
a lot of teenage Shadowhunters are sent to institutes to learn. So like, it's just like, that's just where they're doing their training. Like, it's not like all the training happens in Idris. Idris is more of like Ottawa.
Okay.
It's the national capital region.
Yeah.
The Shadowhunters.
There's a bunch of people walking around in suits, but there's not a lot of learning. Actually, there's 2 universities in Ottawa, so that's not
Yeah,
really
there's a lot of learning
fair.
there.
Some learning. Okay. I guess it is confusing. Well, it's not clear here because it's only the banished kids who are at this institute. But that could be like...
And Jace, I guess. He's not technically banished,
well,
is he?
Wasn't his dad technically part of the Death Eaters also?
Yeah, but he defected before the uprising.
Okay.
Like, Jace's dad left before Clary's mom did.
Right, okay. Because when she left, everyone left by default.
Good point.
Because she died and so did Valentine.
Good point.
Okay. I just wanted that clarified.
Yeah.
Wow, great.
I love that the punishment for being a demon hunting fascist is to
teach children
live for free in like the cultural center of North America.
Yeah.
It's like, oh yeah.
Much like in Percy Jackson, when you fuck up, Zeus sends you to be the summer camp leader.
Yeah. Are we sure this wasn't a Percy Jackson fanfic?
They were published the same year. It would be hard to fanfic that.
So quickly.
I want to talk about that I like The City of Bones as a title. I actually hate Bone City.
Bone City is awful. City of Bones is like cool, mysterious, like kind of goth. Bone City?
Yeah, so...
No.
I guess interchangeably, the City of Bones is like not the City of Bones. It's not called City of Bones. It's called Bone City and also the Silent City. Those are the same place.
Yeah.
And I feel like City of Bones is better. I'm glad she called the book City of Bones and not Bone City.
Not Bone City. The porn parody of this book is called Bone City.
Bone City. Yeah. That's what the fanfic is called.
No.
Bone City. But what a great chapter because we learn what the City of Bones is. It's right there.
Yeah.
We're like a third of the way into the book.
How exciting.
We know what it is.
We know what it is. Surely it has to come back if the book is named after it and they spent half of a chapter there, you know?
Yeah. Well, so the one thing about this book that I think I remember is now that we have read the part about Bone City, and we've gotten some of a description of what it looks like, I'm pretty sure the one part of this book I remember is Jace and Clary almost kissing, actually kissing in Bone City.
What if we made out in Bone City?
Made out in Bone City? Ha ha ha. Unless. Unless. So I don't know if that's
what if
actually.
we smooched in the mausoleum of.
What if we held hands in Silent City? In the city of the Silent Brothers.
City of the Silent Brothers.
Unless. They eat Chinese food while talking about child armies first. Before they. It's because they mentioned Bone City in this conversation, which is why I brought it up. But first they have to eat dinner while talking about child murder and also soldiers.
Hey, knock knock.
Yeah. Who's there?
Interrupting Isabel.
Oh. Yeah?
Oh.
Is interrupting Isabel who?
Dinner time!
Okay. Okay.
It's a callback for you.
Yeah? For
Anyway.
the real fans who are not me because I forgot until like right before.
Anyway.
Yeah. And she threw out her fish soup to order. Imagine, this is so incomprehensible to me, to like spend a long time cooking something and then be like, well, actually, let's throw it out and order something. I would simply already have ordered something.
I would just eat the gross thing. I've cooked gross stuff all the time.
Yeah.
Not on purpose.
Yeah.
But also, I completely forgot Simon was there.
I also did. He's just there, like, literally he has to stay long enough to remind Clary that she should feel bad for flirting with Jace.
Yeah, and also be jealous of Isabel, weirdly, because Simon likes her for some reason.
Yeah, and then he's escorted out, and we forget about him again.
Yeah. He's also kind of a dick.
He's, like, I 100% am like, Cassandra Clare nailed the guy who is nervous around his crush and only knows how to make jokes, so makes like very annoying, repeated, shitty jokes.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
he's very relatable, unfortunately.
Yeah, I was like, nailed that. I was like, secondhand embarrassment. Oh no, the cringe. Simon, someone escort him out of here. But yeah, he does. Oh no, it's not even Simon. Everyone else makes some good jokes about how Valentine sent a demon to woo Clary's mom back.
Yeah. Isabella's convinced this is going to be a lovers to enemies to lovers story about Jocelyn and Valentine.
Yeah. Maybe it will be. Who knows?
Maybe it will be. We don't know.
We don't know. Not yet, at least.
No. Yeah, Simon doesn't participate in that, but he does participate in not even making a joke, but being like, child soldiers, no big deal.
Yeah.
I don't think that's correct.
Yeah. I don't know about that one, Simon. Yeah. He kind of is like, it doesn't seem like a big deal. Is it not?
It's like, I mean...
And then he's also just like, I would rather my brain get run through a sieve and instead of it being chopped off. And it's like, yeah, I guess, but also...
But also, Isabel, get him out of here.
So Simon's like, because they're talking about Clary getting her brain raked through by the Silent Brothers. And like, at first he's like, oh, it doesn't seem like a big deal to me. Like, I'd rather have my mind scrambled than my head chopped off. And then like 3 seconds later, he's like, leave Clary alone. Don't make her get her brain scrambled.
Like, my God, dude. He does not know how to act.
Truly all over the place.
Yeah.
But then Jace gets annoyed with him and I guess has enough voting power in this room that he just gets Simon to be escorted out.
Yeah.
He's like, you've served your plot device. Get out of here.
Yeah. Anyway, I was like a little thrown off, I guess, by the fact that the cup can apparently only be used to turn children into Shadowhunters.
Yeah.
And that it only has a 20% success rate.
Yeah.
I was like, wait, like,
this changes...
This is the thing that you are all fighting over?
This changes my understanding of what happened in ye olden times. Instead of...
Right?
Maybe it's different when the angel did it, and he invented the cup. Man. But I was imagining the angel and a bunch of adults being like, great, I will become Shadowhunter. And instead they're like, my 2-year-old will become Shadowhunter.
Well... Except there's an 80% chance that your 2-year-old will become a pile of dust instead. Like, what parent chooses this option?
I also forgot that it was only children. I was like, oh, I fucked up. Because I think at one point I've said that it's like, it just turns anyone to a Shadowhunter. I forgot it was just kids. Oops.
Well... I feel like the Chekhov's gun in the room is them being like, well, you would never do it to an adult. You're too old, Simon. It would fuck you right up. I'm like, Simon's for sure going in that cup or drinking from the cup, whatever it is you do to turn.
Yeah, also, Clary has a dream where she's dancing with Simon, and Simon is super hot and interesting. And then Simon turns into Jace, and Jace is like, this place is only for the living. So Simon is
dead.
Gonna die, I guess.
No, he's probably gonna go to hell. And
because the way to hell is easy.
Yeah, and then they're gonna have to Orpheus and Eurydice him back.
Yeah.
For sure.
Gonna put him in the cup to take him out of there.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's the only way. A
hand basket to hell and back, I guess. I do appreciate that during this dinner, they're like, wow, we should definitely do something about this, and we should find Clary's mom so we can figure out where the mortal cup is. And Hodge is like, the fuck? You are children. We're getting adults to do this. And I was like,
right?
Yeah. Thank you for at least saying it. It's not going to happen, but thank you for saying it.
Yeah.
Otherwise, the adults would be the main characters.
Yeah, I was complaining in our group chat earlier that Hodge is Dumbledore.
Yeah.
But like one of the things Dumbledore is always doing is sending children to do his extremely dangerous tasks.
Yeah.
And at least Hodge is trying not to send the children to do the dangerous tasks.
Yeah, he will send them to go get their brains sieved through by the Silent Brothers.
Yeah.
But he
Dumbledore
will not send them to murder.
No. To get murdered.
Yeah.
It's more the thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, because Jace is like, I'm skilled and experienced. Because he wants to go try to fight Valentine. And Hodge is like, bruh, you're a teenager and Valentine is the most powerful Shadowhunter who has ever lived. Yeah. Or whatever. It's like, I don't
think it's a good idea, Jace. I don't think it's a good idea.
Maybe Jace is also showing off to the person he has a crush on.
Yeah, probably. She's not like the other girls, you know?
She's not like the other girls.
She's different.
She's so petite.
She's worse. Let's move on from this conversation because we have so much chapter left to go.
We can talk about Silent Brother Jeremiah.
Yeah.
Who was deeply creepy.
Deepy. Which is deeply creepy, but smashed into one word.
Yeah, he has
yeah,
full robes and no face, and he talks directly into people's brains like Saphira and Angel.
Yeah, and I guess no, Edward Cullen didn't. He just read your mind.
He did the opposite one.
But Jeremiah can also read your mind.
Yeah.
He has a face. He's just hiding it. There's something very distinct about their faces that haven't been really been revealed yet.
Is it that he doesn't have eyes?
Well, I was like paraphrasing from the fact that they don't have eyes and their mouths are sewn shut and their features are all just kind of flattened.
Oh yeah, okay. Wait, yeah, then
okay.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
But they have faces. They're just
okay.
I mean, kind of.
Okay, yeah.
They're missing some key parts to it.
Yeah, they like took the features off of the face.
Yes. Okay, fair.
Okay.
For some reason. Can they see if they don't have eyes?
Yeah, they have like a bunch of ruins.
Runes.
That I don't know if they see per se, but like their senses are all heightened. Like,
okay, sure, for sure.
I don't remember the exact reasoning why like their eyelids and mouth are sewn shut. There is a reason.
Yeah.
Like a see no evil, speak no evil.
Oh.
Yeah. I don't remember. And in one of the later series, a character turns into a Silent Brother, so you kind of learn.
Oh.
But the like transformation isn't like complete. Like when you first transition from Shadowhunter to Silent Brother, you're not fully eyes and mouth sewn shut just yet. It takes a little while, and they're essentially like immortal or long lived. So
dang.
Yeah.
They like don't cast sounds when they move.
Yeah.
Which makes sense with magic. They also don't cast shadows, which does not make sense with physics.
I mean, there's probably a rune that is like, let light pass right through me kind of thing.
Damn.
But then how do you see them? Maybe
a ghost.
A ghost.
Secretly translucent.
Or there's like a way that their matter is shifted so that light can penetrate through yet still reflect.
Yeah, they have like 50% less mass than...
There's more holes between their atoms.
They've spaced out their atoms
further apart.
That's how you reach enlightenment. You space out your atoms.
You space out your atoms.
Yeah.
Do you ever get slightly worried that one day a terrible coincidence is going to happen and your foot is just going to go like partway into the floor and then be stuck there?
No.
Just me?
No.
Okay.
No, I worry ever since reading the Katie Mack End of the Universe physics book that my atoms will just all unspiral at the same time, which is one of the ways the universe can end. So that's just new fear unlocked.
See, but I feel like that would happen quickly.
Yeah, you wouldn't notice. Everything would disappear.
I'm not worried about that. I'm worried about the part where your foot gets stuck in the ground and then you are just, the rest of you is normal.
Yeah.
And you have to figure out what to do.
I think being a silent brother is not for you. That I'm just going to recommend it now because I feel like there's a much higher chance if your atoms are spaced out.
Yeah, that you're going to get stuck partway through in a surface.
Yeah, you're going to accidentally unlock real life no clip and end up halfway through the wall like a video game character.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I also spent like $5,000 to make my eyeballs work, so if I had to sew them up, I'd be pissed.
Yeah. That probably is even more expensive.
Ugh. Getting it undone later? Like,
jeez. So rude. It is funny that he doesn't have a shadow because they're Shadowhunters. He's trying to find a shadow because he lost his.
He lost his.
Shadowhunter.
Peter Pan was a Shadowhunter, confirmed.
Confirmed. The first
He was not silent.
No, absolutely not.
I also... This is nitpicky. I find it a little bit of a cop-out that it's like, ooh, the silent brothers, they cannot make a sound. But he can speak directly into your brain, so don't worry, we don't have to come up with any creative form of communication.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, okay, I guess. I mean, their whole thing is they're, like, super psychically overpowered, so it makes sense that they can do that in the context of the world building, but also, boo.
Just no sign language, no anything else.
Nope.
That's fine. I want to talk about a PSA at this part because the whole reason the Silent Brother is there is because Clary has what everyone keeps calling repressed memories. And then I think Jeremiah himself clarifies at one point, no, there is a block. A magic spell was put on you. And good on Jeremiah because repressed memories is like a huge problem. It's like a complete myth that you can repress your memories and that like a hypnotist or a therapist can like bring memories back. Like it's a thing that is very bad because they can like you can create new memories whole cloth from a therapist like acting as though it's a repressed memory. So people who like have gone through that, they have created memories where they think they were like, I don't know, kidnapped by a satanic cult or like had abuse, like parental abuse done to them or like all of that can be completely made up. And so I'm just like, this is an opportunity to be like, that's fake.
That's not right.
Do not go to a hypnotist to get your repressed memories unrepressed because they are made up memories.
I guess the one thing about that is that having like amnesia walls is like a characteristic of dissociative identity disorder. So if you actually are like, ooh, I just realized I can't remember anything from last week or like giant swaths of my childhood, it's like maybe because there was literally someone else there.
Yeah,
which is not quite the same thing, but for like person experiencing it, it can seem like you have lost your memories.
Yeah, this is absolutely not our field of expertise, but
no.
I was, while looking up repressed memory stuff, I was actually listening to a podcast where they talk about this a lot. But there is some people think that DID could just be like an extension of therapists like creating something in your head. And so DID is like maybe not like people experience something like that. It's
very controversial.
But it might not be actually happening.
Yeah.
Whatever that means. But you can like have amnesia that is a like physical, like if you have brain damage, you can forget things. Like, and you can just like forget things, but they're not like,
I was like, I forget things all the time.
You can forget things all the time, but they're not like hidden in your brain somewhere. They are gone.
No,
like if you don't remember them, they're gone. And so when you think you're remembering something that you had forgotten, it's probably your brain like either putting together teeny snippets that you actually remember or making something up. Because your brain is really good at making up memories.
Yeah.
Anyway.
My my therapist the other week was talking about how your brain's priority is to be fast, not right.
Mm-hmm.
So if it thinks it needs to come up with like an answer to something, it'll just pick the first one.
Yeah.
And doesn't like do any QA/QC.
No. We need more brain QA/QC.
Yeah.
I'm going to hire some more people for that. I'm going to hire some more little men in my head.
Yeah. I need to hire some little interns to go through and check all of my filing systems.
Yeah, not that I'm questioning the little man in my head, but I am. Anyway, I just had to get that off my chest.
Yeah.
Now we can talk about the book again, which doesn't do this because there actually is a magical block in her brain that's keeping her memories from her.
Yeah.
Although they do kind of talk about like, oh, your childhood memories that you've forgotten. No, bad.
Yeah.
And it almost doesn't even matter because apparently it's too strong for anyone to break open.
It's so powerful.
So
even
strong.
Like all like the council of psychic enforcers all together can't break through this block
of brain magic
wild.
Librarians. They can't do it.
They can't do
but
it.
Let's...
Like clearly Magnus Bane must have been like he must be a powerful guy.
He must be so strong. Okay, before we get to that, we have to talk about getting to the City of Bones. I mean Bone City. Because we still haven't talked about it, and I really need to talk about the New York City cemetery.
Okay.
Because, so Bone City, or Silent City, I understand that in real life, there are usually, like, multiple names for things. Like, when they're just sort of, like, you'll call it New York, you'll call it NYC, you'll call it whatever. People call places different things. I was so confused when they kept calling it Bone City and also Silent City. I'm like, those are two different places. Weird that they have to go to both of them.
Yeah.
But the most important thing is that Bone City is in a real, actual cemetery in New York.
Oh. But
do not get it twisted, because this one is the... Let me double check this. This one is the New York City Marble Cemetery. Mm-hmm. Do not get it confused with 3 blocks over New York Marble Cemetery.
Oh, God.
Which was founded 1 year later.
Okay.
They are 2 different things.
2 different things.
But they are both burial grounds, and they were both made with marble, I guess, mausoleums or vaults, because that's how they protected people from catching yellow fever from corpses.
Oh.
Because if you just do like regular earthen burials, I guess I don't know if this is true. Either you can get yellow fever by burying people too shallow in just regular coffins, or they thought that could happen, that it could keep being spread by like rats or something. I don't know how anything works. So first of all, I love that there are 2 things that are basically identical right next to each other with almost the same name.
God damn it.
But don't worry, the one that Bone City is in was the first one. It was founded in 1831, so I guess it was actually founded in 1234.
I cannot. That's the date they picked.
They put on it's 1, 2, 3, 4.
Are you kidding me? I was like, surely the person who like typed up this ebook,
made a mistake,
but then it was repeated.
Yep.
So
the year 1234, if you were wondering, that would have been before New York was a Dutch settlement. That would have been back when I'm not going to say this right. The Lenape lived there. Fun fact, I didn't know this. Apparently, Broadway Street in New York City used to be like a Lenape road. That was just like a main thoroughfare that they used. That's fun.
Huh.
That
is interesting.
Yeah, right? A fun little thing.
Fun little fact.
I guess I found that in the history of New York, so maybe it's not true, but I thought it was fun. The other thing that is questionable that I am taking too much delight in, that is rude of me, is that the New York City Marble Cemetery has a list of notable people who were buried in it. And one of those people is the noted merchant Preserved Fish.
I'm sorry.
That's his name.
Is that his name? I bet he was a Shadowhunter. He's going to be one of the people that comes up in this book. Who's like noted historical figure.
Preserved Fish. Oh, I'm obsessed with this name. I think it's pronounced Preserved.
Yeah,
and I think it's a Quaker name. So
Are you sure it's not like persevered or something?
Nope. It's PRE.
Wow.
Unless they pronounce it persevered. But it reads as Preserved Fish.
Preserved Fish. That's really something.
Like your last name is Fish. You are making a choice. It's just like a painting from 1776 of a guy who looks like he's from 1776 in a suit and with his gray hair, and he's holding a bunch of papers.
Holding a fish?
And above it just says Preserved Fish. This is the most joy I've gotten in a very long time out of anything.
What the hell?
He's descended from Thomas Fish, obviously.
Yeah.
Obviously.
I know some people whose last name is Fish, but none of them have the first name Preserved. Do you think his brother's name is Salted?
I'm trying not to laugh too hard because it's a real name, apparently. Preserved Fish. Wow, I love him. I need to know everything about him.
Sophie and I spend a weird amount of time watching social media content about horses.
Yeah.
And Preserved Fish would be a fantastic show.
That would be a great horse name. Most importantly, Mr. Fish himself. You're not gonna like this. He made his fortune in selling whale oil.
Of course he did. Fuck that guy. Yep. Unpreserve that fish. He deserves to rot. Fish.
Don't worry, he's buried. He's dead and buried in Bone City. Preserved fish
Bone
buried.
Preserved fish in Bone City.
Okay. Oh boy, what a great name. More people should be named Preserved. Fish, specifically.
Fish.
Yeah, Preserved Fish, specifically. He has a child named Stuyvesant Fish, which I don't know what. Anyway, I went and looked way too much into the Fish family, which has their own Wikipedia page.
Of course they do.
No one else had as good a name, but it is funny to just see like Elizabeth Fish.
Wow.
It's like a child cartoon name. Anyway, I forget what else I had to say because I was way too distracted by Preserved Fish.
Preserved Fish.
Yeah. But the New York Marble Cemetery. No, the New York City Marble Cemetery.
Yes, different.
Is Bone City and also is real. And I can't believe I almost forgot the most important part. It is an 11-minute drive away from the Institute of Higher Living in Maximum Ride.
No.
At some point, we're going to have to do like a podcast tour of New York City.
Yeah.
And go to all of the places.
Yeah. It's going to be a problem. And then we'll quickly fly over to Forks.
Yep.
And then also to Allegasia.
Yeah.
Forks isn't worth it. You don't want to go to Forks.
You're right. Let's go to Phoenix.
Okay. We'll go to Port Angeles.
We can go to La Push, but just skip
Push,
Forks.
baby.
La Push, baby. Maybe we should just go to the Vatican.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I went there once. It was dope as hell.
Yeah, we can do that. That'll be our Twilight moment.
Yeah. I mean, this is also deeply religiously inspired. I bet
they go somewhere close to the Vatican at some point.
Yeah. I guess we don't know if this is specifically Catholic or if it's just general Christian.
Right.
But
maybe they don't believe in the Pope.
It doesn't matter. They don't believe in the Pope.
They don't
you can
believe
like see you can see him, but we don't believe in him.
No, he's made up.
He's just some guy. Yeah.
Okay.
He's AI.
Yeah.
AI Pope.
He's like Santa. He visits your house one night a year to spray water at you with a water gun to baptize you.
Every Easter.
Every Easter. The Pope
comes through your chimney and drapes incense.
No, he drives up your driveway in his bulletproof car.
He drives into your house.
Yeah, I'm gonna
sings a psalm over you while you're sleeping
and shoots a water gun full of holy water at you. We're gonna get smote probably.
Yeah.
Anyway,
the little rabbit hole that I went down.
Yeah.
After Clary and Jace and brother Jeremiah go down the rabbit hole that he opens up under the cemetery to go down into Bone City. Is the whole thing
Alice's Adventures in Bone City.
Alice's Adventures in Bone City.
Okay, keep going.
Damn it. If only we had read one more chapter before Christmas
episode. Okay.
Oh,
sorry.
Geez. Anyway, the silent Bone City is completely made out of marble. And it's like, ooh, wow, so sweeping and gothic and dramatic. And Brother Jeremiah reveals that the marble is made up of the cremains of dead Shadowhunters because there's enough power just in their atoms, I guess, that it like continues to protect them.
Oh.
Afterwards.
Yeah.
But like the thing.
Yeah.
The thing.
What? There's one
this,
thing,
right?
Yeah.
There's one. Well, there's probably a couple things, but the one thing that my squirrel brain latched onto is the fact that like marble is a metamorphic form of limestone, right? Like if you have limestone, which is a sedimentary rock that you put under like intense heat and pressure, it becomes marble. Limestone is made of calcium carbonate, which is not a thing that humans have a lot of in their bodies.
Yeah.
If Shadowhunters were perhaps mollusks, this would maybe make more sense.
Are our bones not made of calcium carbonate? What are they made of? Calcium something else?
Calcium something. I did some like brief Googling, and cremains contain small amounts of calcium carbonate. And it seems from like, so I did some math.
Oh,
it seems from
wow.
the small amount of research I did that like calcium carbonate can be up to 4% of your body's carbon.
Oh.
And typically you get about 2 to 3 kilos of cremains from one person.
Yeah.
Which means one Shadowhunter contributes about 100 grams of calcium carbonate, which is not even limestone, and then which is not even marble.
So they have to compress that even further.
They have to compress that a lot. Like how many Shadowhunters were they like collecting the ashes of before they were able to start building this place?
Yeah, they're like 3 generations have died. We can now make 1 block.
We can now make a brick. It's like, okay.
Maybe
like I like the idea of like the Shadowhunters who fall in battle. This isn't even all the Shadowhunters. It's specifically the ones who fall in battle are cremated to provide protection to the Bone City.
Yeah.
It's like, that's... I did not try to estimate the, volume of the Bone City.
Yeah, we'd have to look up the acreage of the New York City Marble Cemetery, and then
yeah.
That's so fun.
I will say, I think you're saying it's only the ones who've died in battle.
That's what they said.
Not even all of them.
No, yeah, like it is implied that like
okay,
it's very rare for a Shadowhunter to die of like natural causes.
Oh, okay.
Like they will die from like a demon or like a battle before anything else. Like,
right, okay.
That's like the implication is like they don't live very long. You don't see a lot of old Shadowhunters.
Yeah.
Right.
And like I think what they want us to get out of this is that each like pillar is a guy.
I don't even know, man.
Oh no,
I don't
or, like,
think
each,
so. No, like the
block,
whole, like
right,
the whole marble, is, the whole thing is marble.
Yeah,
the whole marble is guys.
It's guys. I feel like if I weren't reading this book this way, I would be like each brick is a guy. Like that's the scale they want me to think in. But I love that it's like, no, this 1 centimeter of brick is guy. Incredible. Yeah. Maybe much like Twilight vampires, Shadowhunters are made of minerals entirely.
Yes, they're actually made of calcium carbonate.
Calcium carbonate. They're like
they have
cephalopods.
Exoskeletons. Yeah.
Because they have brought them inside.
They have like a cuddle bone.
Yeah, they have a cuddle bone, but there's 206 of them. 208? How many bones do humans have?
Oh. 200 plus.
Yeah.
That's why they're so hard to kill, because they have both an internal skeleton and also an outside one made of calcium carbonate.
Do we think if you kiss Jace, he's got a dry mouth or like a wet mouth?
Oh my god.
Well, the inside of his mouth would be moist because the inside of like a clam has all of the meaty bits.
Yeah.
It's just the outside that's hard for protection.
The outside of clams notably dry.
Notably dry and like kind of rough and abrasive.
Team wet, team dry, round 2. Fight.
Ding ding ding.
No. Wow, I love that. That's the best math anyone's ever done. I'm so happy.
Yeah. Thanks, you're welcome. I mean, like, this does imply that there are like a shit ton of dead Shadowhunters.
Yeah.
But luckily, Jace confirms for us that Shadowhunters love reproducing. It is one of their favorite things. So
yeah. So
that's nice.
That's nice. They have lots of babies, and all of them die, I guess, and get turned into. They all die in battle and get turned into stones. I guess. Yeah. Hasn't it been said before that Shadowhunters don't live very long? Like, even though they are...
In the same conversation, he says a lot of us die young.
Right.
And their numbers are slowly dwindling.
Right.
And Claria's like,
Are you not
Are you not reproducing?
Yeah.
And much like me, Jace thinks this is hilarious.
Yeah.
This is also exactly the kind of thing that I would say, because I would forget how to talk to a human briefly.
Yeah.
So that's fun.
Relatable
experience.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's good to know that I'm just as awkward as 15-year-olds.
Yeah, it's good. Lots of progress since then, being 15.
Yeah. I also like that Brother Jeremiah, I think he made a joke. So Claria gets spooked going into the City of Bones and like screams. And I can't find the page because this chapter is 50 fucking pages long. So I can't remember the exact quote, but she screams and Jace is like, oh, be careful, like you're screaming loud enough to wake the dead. And then like 6 pages later, Jeremiah like grabs Clary's arm as she's starting to do something and she's like, huh. And into her brain he says, it would take more than the scream of one mortal to wake the dead here. I was like, is this a joke?
Is that a joke?
I think he's making a joke.
Yeah. Didn't Jay say he was the funny one?
Yeah.
Okay. Wow. Oh. And then they go into hell. No, sorry. Underground into the mausoleum. Totally normal. To go to in Bone City to get Clary's brain unblocked.
Yeah.
And it doesn't work.
It doesn't work, but it like kind of works.
Yeah, like she gets some bits and pieces that maybe are on the periphery of what she's been forced to forget.
Yeah. It's mostly Jocelyn and Clary like hurrying around in secret.
Yeah.
And also a funeral and the box of Clary's dad that has the initials JC on it for Jesus
For
Christ.
Jesus Christ. Yep.
And then Luke is there, and Clary gets in trouble for trying to interact with some fairies in a park. And then it's winter, and they see Magnus. Sorry. Magnus Bane!
Yeah, please.
They go to him.
Yeah. And Clary's immediate reaction is Magnus Bane? That's not even a name. What? Hello? What?
Like,
How is that not a name?
I love how that's her objection.
Yeah. It
Like,
is.
Magnus is pretty explicitly a name,
Yeah.
and any old thing can be a last name.
Yeah.
Like
Fish.
any word. Fish.
Anything can
as
be
an
a first
example.
name, like preserved.
Preserved.
Like preserved in fish. Yeah, kind of wild that this person, whoever Magnus Bane is stronger than the entire, I guess not stronger. It's just like too deeply embedded in her brain gunk. And if they tried to take it out, she would die.
Yeah. That's what I got out of this as well.
Yeah.
It's like based on their whole vibe and aesthetic, I'm a little bit surprised that the Silent Brothers aren't like, it will kill you, but we'll get the information first, so let's do it anyway.
Yeah, and
know?
then the book ends here.
Then the book ends.
And then it's just Jace POV after that.
Plot twist.
Clary dies in chapter 10.
You thought you hated it when the POV character dies at the end of chapter 1.
Mm-hmm.
Now get 38% into the book, and then she's gonna die.
She'll die.
That might make me DNF a book.
Maybe. That would be very notable if we could find something that would make you DNF a book.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That book would deserve an award, I think.
Yeah. Only book Hannah's ever DNF'd.
Yeah.
The only book I DNF'd this year was Wicked.
That is like not a great book. I also
It's a
DNF'd
bad book.
that.
I DNF'd that in 2008.
Yeah, same.
That's not a look. The musical's amazing.
It is,
and that's where I'll
the
end.
The musical's
sentence.
amazing. The movie is fantastic. The book is not.
No.
So weird.
You can skip the book. It's okay to skip the
just
book.
don't.
Yeah,
Go
you
to the
don't
movie,
have to.
though.
Yeah. Anyway, then Clary talks about ripping Jace's clothes off. Just kidding. He talks about it.
Yeah.
That's true. Yeah, because she starts bleeding all over the place.
Yeah, did they cut her to get into her brain?
I don't know why she's bleeding.
Did she fall over?
So a sudden pain lances through her right arm, and she falls over, and then her left arm is bleeding.
Oh.
And I don't know what the pain was that made her fall over, or like what she fell on that made her bleed so much, because it says that she bleeds enough that a glove of blood covers her lower arm from the elbow to the wrist.
Yeah.
And I think she just falls over on the stairs.
Oh, yeah, maybe.
So
Anyway.
I'm a little confused by that. But also, Jace specifically points out, ooh, you bled on the speaking stairs. Oh no, the speaking stars?
Yeah.
You bled on the speaking stars. I bet there's a law somewhere about that. So that's going to come back at some point.
For sure.
Oh, so maybe she doesn't fall on the stairs. I think I just inserted that because I thought there was an eye.
Stairs. Here's the stairs you stand on to speak from.
You stand on the stairs and speak towards the council who are like on the dais above you, you know?
Yeah, you don't get to stand on like a platform or the ground. You just get to stand in the middle of the stairs.
Yeah.
And then Brother Jeremiah is mad about it. I don't know. He's like really snippy with them as they're leaving.
Yeah.
He's like, get out of here.
I think he's mad that
it didn't work.
Jace tried to make a joke at him also.
Oh.
I mean, like, yes, I think he's also upset that it didn't work. But Jace is like, ooh, Brother Jeremiah, you've been very quiet.
Yeah.
And Jeremiah is just like, I'm just going to lead you out of the city.
Yeah, I've heard this
in
joke
a faintly affronted
400
tone.
times. Everybody says it. Man, we didn't even talk about how they used a magic carriage to get to this place.
It was like not that.
It wasn't that
interesting.
It just sort of was magic.
It was just a magic carriage.
They had magic flying horses that pulled the carriage over cars and stuff.
Yeah, I guess we also didn't talk about Jace's tragic backstory or the fact that he's super mean about Simon for literally.
Oh yeah,
reason.
he's jealous of Simon. He's mad about it. And he's a tragic backstory where his dad got murdered.
Yeah.
Well, we already knew that.
We knew that. We just got a detailed version. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But I think now is a good time to guess what happens next.
Yay!
So, Sam, if you want to tell us the title and the first sentence of the next chapter.
So chapter 11 is titled Magnus Bane.
Yeah.
And your sentence is, Jace leaned forward and banged his head against the partition separating them from the cab driver. Turn left, I said, to take Broadway, you brain-dead moron. That was technically 2 sentences, but I felt like it was a cliffhanger, just like not saying what he said.
What is he gonna say to the cab driver?
To the cab driver.
What is he gonna say?
I made the impromptu decision to read both.
Yeah. You were right.
Yeah.
Thank you for the help.
Yeah.
It really helped to get the second chapter. I mean,
I thought it
sentence.
would.
Yeah.
So they're taking a
Jason's
taxi.
the one who wanted to take a taxi.
I know.
So he shouldn't be mad about it.
Yeah, really. Instead of a magic carriage. So they're going to take a taxi right to Australia.
They're going back to the Institute.
Yeah.
Maybe they'll go to the 5-dimensional door.
I was just thinking
Australia.
that. I was like, what if they can dimension door their way there? Because, like, Hodge is not going to let them do this, right?
Go to
Bane?
Probably not.
Probably not, right?
No.
Are teenagers ever really good at listening to what their elders want them to do?
That's why I think they're going to go to the 5-dimensional door or something. They're going to do something, rebellious and teenagerly.
Yeah, teenagerly.
Yeah. I also think...
Yeah.
Okay, I have a couple thoughts. I think because it was specifically mentioned that Clary was like, I meant to call Simon just to make sure he got home okay. Chase is like, he was just going home like 2 seconds. Fine. Simon has gotten kidnapped already. And 2, I started with A. 2.
A2.
2. I actually forgot what number 2 was, but this is going well. I don't remember what it was. It was back when we were talking about Death Eaters, but it's fine.
Okay. I guess my thought is, other than the 5-dimensional door, which seemed to be like a special kind of thing, Hodge says that if he sends a message to the Clave about potentially hunting down Valentine, they can have like a full squad or whatever of adult Shadowhunters in New York by tomorrow. So they clearly have like a fast way to travel or a bunch of money they can use to buy like last minute flights.
Yeah.
But I'm assuming they use some like magical fast travel.
Yeah.
So surely they will ask Hodge to send them to Australia.
We have we confirmed that Bane is in Australia?
No.
No. He was in Australia last time
because you
when
thought
like,
it
Luke
was.
and Jocelyn were talking. No, when they were talking in like chapter 1, Bane was in Australia.
Okay.
And for some reason I don't remember anything from the like previous 10 chapters, but I do specifically remember that at one point Bane was in Australia.
Yeah, there is no way in hell that they travel to Australia in this book. That does not happen. So Bane is going to be in the city.
Bane is in New York.
And they just have to find him.
They just gotta go find him. Yeah, Madame Dorothea maybe knows where he is.
Yeah. I remembered my other thought.
2.
My second thought is that I think that the incest we all keep forgetting about that isn't incest, but that is is briefly thought to be incest, is that they think that Clary's dad is Michael whoever, and that Wayland, who is Jace's dad, and the JC that Jocelyn is lamenting is Jace, her other child who they separated with. I think that's
interesting.
The maybe incest.
Interesting.
Anyway.
Yeah, I'll go with it.
Yeah.
Fun.
Fun. That's number 2.
Number 2. And do you have
3 small eyes?
I don't know. Yeah. Yeah. Do you have an I?
No, I don't think so.
Okay.
No, the I is the one I said before, which is that they're going to get to Bane and it's going to be like, well, your mom put this on you.
Oh my god.
To keep you safe.
They're just going on a goose chase.
Yeah.
I mean, much like Percy Jackson,
Yeah.
I assume they will find Jocelyn at the end of book 1. But I could be wrong.
Yeah, maybe sooner.
Maybe sooner.
It's gotta be the next chapter where Jace and Clary have to go off on their just the two of them adventure, right?
You have been saying that for like 8
It's gotta
chapters.
be happening soon, I
It's
swear.
like me with the erasers.
Yeah, they gotta be coming back.
Yeah.
And when I'm eventually right, I'm gonna forget all the times I was wrong.
Yeah, exactly.
You know how sometimes people have like dogs that develop a weird superstition where like they won't step on one part of the floor because one time they slept there, or like they once found a hard-boiled egg on like a specific part of the sidewalk, so they refuse to walk past that part.
Yeah.
I feel like this is you guys with the erasers and also with Jason Clary going on an adventure.
Yeah.
You're like, it's gonna happen.
It's gonna happen. One day. Maybe in book 2.
One day.
Yeah.
Yeah. Book 2.
Book 2.
Once we've stopped reading this book.
They'll
for the
definitely go
podcast.
on an adventure then.
Yeah, for sure. At some point, surely.
Yeah, well, next chapter they're going to talk to Magnus Bane, and there's going to be a bunch of lore dropped again.
Yep.
Yep.
It's a lot of that going around.
Yep. Great.
Good job.
Well,
cool.
Did we get it right, Sam?
There were some parts that were leading in the right direction.
Wow. We're really
But-
getting the hang of this.
I will note, my memory has failed a few times here, so like...
Okay, fair.
I don't remember things as much as I thought I did.
Yeah, it's an adventure for all of us.
It truly is.
Wow.
Speaking of an adventure for all of us, good segues today. Let's talk about what else we've been reading. It's been a minute since we last recorded. I continued reading more Premium Muhammad books, so I read And What Can We Offer You Tonight, which was a standalone novella, which was creepy and good. And on top of that, I think one of the most beautiful book covers. Just the color scheme is incredible. I really love it. And the book is good too, so that's fun. And then I also read We Speak Through the Mountain, which is the second book of the annual Migration of Clouds, another Premium Muhammad book. Also good. I really like that one. And I didn't realize it was more than 2 books. And I was getting to the end of the second book and I was like, no, oh no. I need to know what happens next. I also finally finished, I don't know why it took me so long because I love these books, The God of Lost Words by A.J. Hackwith, which is the...
Okay, that was like the first... I saw you finish that and I was like, oh, she must be rereading.
Nope, I just hadn't finished the last book because I was like, I'm not ready for this to be done. And so then I didn't read it, I was halfway through.
Sure.
Which is the Library of the Unwritten series, which is good. I also read... Sorry, I just really liked all the books I read, so I am talking about all of them. I read in a single day The Secret Life of Albert Entwistle, which was just a cute little rom-com about a retired postman who decides to try and find the lost love of his life.
Aww.
At 65, he decides to turn his life around, and it's adorable and also will make you cry. It made me cry so hard at the beginning. And then I also read Starling House by Alex E. Harrow. I love Alex E. Harrow. It was a good book. Very spooky. And that's all that I read. That's it.
That's it.
That's it. What about you guys?
Oh boy. I finally finished a bunch of books I had started, which includes Phantasma by Kaylee Smith and The Hurricane Wars by Thea Gauzen. And then for some reason, I decided to read the first Zodiac Academy book because I just had to know.
The
And
FOMO.
I did not read it. I listened to the graphic audio, which is more like a movie than anything, which if you are going to read it, I think is the only way to read it because I've heard the writing is atrociously bad. But if you're listening to it in graphic audio, it's not that bad. But all of those characters are terrible. I don't know. I am just like the other girlies and I like most of the popular things. I don't quite get this one. But it wasn't terrible because, again, graphic audio. But anyways. And then Amazon decided to release 5 rom-com Christmas novellas by 5 of my favorite romance authors. So I read Cruel Winter with You by Allie Hazelwood, which is the first one of them. And then I'm reading Wisteria by Adeline Grace, which is the third Belladonna book. And I finally picked up The Mask of Mirrors, which is our October book club book. Listen, I've had a busy few months of field work and stuff. It's been hard.
Yeah.
That book is also hard.
Yeah, the ebook was on sale for Black Friday, so I'm
nice.
hoping that will make it easier because I'm not lugging that one home for Christmas holidays.
Yeah, she thick.
Yeah, she thick. So, yeah, and then hopefully I will start To Shape a Dragon's Breath, and then also It Happened One Christmas, and finish out these book club books before the end of the year, because I'm pretty sure this comes out on December 31st.
Oh, yeah.
So hopefully by the time this comes out, I've finished all of those and I can end the year not feeling guilty.
Yeah.
Perfect.
That's it.
I have finished all three of those Midlight Book Club books since last we spoke, and they were all 3 stars.
Oh, man.
Lovely.
But I also read The Undermining of Twyla and Frank by Megan Bannon and Crushed Ice by Ashlyn Kane and Morgan James, and The Golden Enclaves by Naomi Novik, and I thoroughly enjoyed all 3 of those.
Great.
And then I'm currently reading The Teller of Small Fortunes by Julie Long, which is a deeply cozy fantasy book. And yeah, so It Happened One Christmas is our Midlight Book Club book for this month. It's a rom-com aggressively set in Chelsea, Quebec.
My hometown!
Woo! I feel like I know so much more about you now.
Yeah, all of it's true, probably. I have not yet picked it up because when we're recording this, it is not December 1st. So no. I am not preempting the book club.
Yeah, I was at the whims of the library system, and I just happened to get it early.
Wow.
Anyway, and because this episode is coming out at the end of December, we definitely had pre-selected our first book club book of 2025.
Yeah.
So in January, join us as we read The Will of the Many by James Islington. Islington.
One of those ways.
Sure. One of those.
Yeah, I've heard it both ways.
By our buddy James.
Our buddy James.
Not Patterson.
So, if you liked this chapter of Midlight Crisis, consider rating and reviewing us on Spotify or your podcatcher of choice. You can talk to us and find fun-related content on social media. We are at Midlight Pod on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, Tumblr, and Blue Sky. And all chapters of the show thus far are available on our website, midlightpod.podbean.com, and on YouTube.
And Isabel, who must be watching Rings of Power just like me. That's sort of hot, the whole evil thing, you know?
Oh my god.
Listen.
Oh, I know.
Any chance I can talk about Haladriel in everyday conversation, I will.
I know. I know.